Well, hello and welcome to Snake River Junction. I'm Gary. Been working on a Athearn's f7a locomotive, getting it digital command control ready, known as DCC. Just got back from a 5K run for the Runyon Cancer Foundation. So I'll be working on another video, so check out this one. First thing I did was remove the shell. I pulled the edges out, allow it to drop, put it on the side. Next, I remove this simple weight. It's about 6 ounces. Yours might have this connector which goes across the motor. Remove that. After that, I desoldered everything to rewire it for digital command controller, known as DCC. Next thing I did was remove the light bracket because I'm going to be putting LEDs. To remove the truck assembly, you need to get a little screwdriver in between chassis and the worm gear cover, then popping it off. Then remove the worm gear, and the rail truck assembly should come off. Do the same thing for the rear wheel. To take the motor out, you just poke the motor mounts out and the motor should just pop off just like that. I prepared the chassis by cleaning with isopropyl alcohol before using the liquid tape. Disassemble the truck assembly by removing the top gear box clip first, then the bottom clip. The two frames should then be able to be separated. Repeat the process for the second truck assembly and make note of how the gears go, because you need to know that later on. I cleaned all the parts with isopropyl alcohol off camera because there was way too many of them. To prepare the motor for DCC, the bottom clip flanges have to be bent flat. I did that by using a hammer and the flat section on my vise. As you can see, it's completely flat. No need to cut them. I placed liquid tape down the groove on the chassis that sits below the motor. I first tinned the black wire and the bottom edge of the motor clamp. After that was done, I soldered the wire to the edge of the clamp. Then putting it back together. First the brush goes in, then the spring, and then the clamp is snapped on place. The process was repeated for the top clamp and the red wire. Once completed, I tested the motor to make sure it worked with the new wires. Before putting the trucks back together, I soldered the pickup wires, both the red and black, to the trucks. The red wire I connected it to the top flange, and the black wire to the bottom. When reassembling the trucks, you want to put the gear marker, that's right there, in the upright position. I then lubricated all the gears with high temperature bearing grease. After installing the wheels in the trucks, you want to clip on the top gearbox clip first. That will hold both the frames in place. Then you clip on the bottom gearbox clip. I also lubricated the worm gear and temporarily put it in place in the truck assembly. I placed the motor back into the chassis by using the universal motor mounts. I slipped the truck assemblies back in place and secured them with the worm gear and the worm gear cover, followed by the flywheel bushing and the slider coupling. I secured the circuit board to the top of the motor using Gorilla construction adhesive. I then soldered the red motor wire to the right side of the circuit board. I then soldered the black motor wire to the left side, followed by soldering the contact wires for both the front and rear trucks. The black went on the left side and the red ones go on the right. The superweight was replaced back onto the chassis. Now I'm going to solder the LEDs to the circuit board. I'm using a new LEDs. They're from Eve model. They already have the resistor already attached to it. I glued two of them right in there using epoxy. And now what I'm doing is tinning it up a little bit. Thanks for watching my video, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.